I have so many girls come in and they're like, I just don't want to get bulky. I don't want to get big. And I think it's just such a, I don't want to say a myth, but like, I'm like, how, what? Okay, let's just start. Like, let's start with a very bulky CrossFit athlete.
Sure.
That is their life. It's all they're doing. They eat specifically to grow and gain. They could or could not be taking things.
Sure.
I don't know. Because some girls can get bigger than other girls, right? Mm-hmm. But in a 45-hour session, a couple days a week with me, there's no way you're going to look like that. Like, that's not even what we're training for.
Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Belt Beauty Radio. Today's conversation is with my good friend, Jenn Glysson. Jenn is a super talented, badass private trainer based out of LA. She is the owner of the gym, The Body LA, and just an overall remarkable, empowered woman. I first came across Jenn over 4 years ago through Instagram, actually, through a mutual friend of ours who put up a post where Jenn was training her. And upon seeing this post, I was immediately drawn to Jenn's style of training. Nothing too fancy, but definitely dynamic, strong, and intriguing. So, of course, I went down a deep rabbit hole checking out her Instagram profile, which is so dope. I highly recommend all of you following her. She gives off so much incredible free content out there, great ideas for training. And, you know, I knew that I had to get myself in the door and experience what actual training would be like with her one-on-one. So I did. And, you know, not only did she meet my expectations, you know, what I imagined it would be like with her, but she went way above and beyond it. And I think the part of that was her energy, you know, so it's like one part her style of training, but it's, you know, the other part of just who she is, her mental framework. You know, she's an athlete. She grew up as an athlete. So she definitely has that commitment, that focus, that intensity, that, you know, passion built within her that she offers you when she's training you. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to experience. And it kept me so connected to wanting to know her more. And I'm so grateful to have Jenn in my life because she truly is a very empowering woman. You know, what she puts out there is this idea that, you know, she trains both men and women. I'm just kind of focusing on women because that's what I am, right? But she just gives you this vibe of like, you can do it. You know, you can do it if you want to. Do you want to? Because if you do, you got this. I love that so much. So I feel like you'll capture that in our conversation. It's really fun. It's a lot of real talk, and I'm looking forward to having more podcast conversations with her because she's got so much to offer, and it's all really good, strong, empowering, inspiring, and motivating stuff, for lack of a better word. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys drop into this conversation with my awesome friend, Jenn Glysson. And honestly, like I said in the beginning, highly recommend following her. Trust me, she adds value to your life. Enjoy this conversation with my friend, Jenn Glysson. All right, we're live. Jenn, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yes!
I'm so excited.
Me too.
You are, in my mind, one of the greatest at what you do. I mean, when did we meet? Like, it was like 4 years ago, maybe, or something like that?
I think about 4 years ago.
Mad credit always to our girl, Ariane Celeste, because that's how I found you.
Yes,
on the gram, and I was like, wait, who's this trainer? Because first of all, girl, The Body, like, it's The Body. It's the name of your gym. I love that. I didn't even mean to do that right now, but legit, like, you can tell you're an athlete, and I can't wait to get into your background of being an athlete, but, you know, your body's beautiful, and one thing that really stood out to me going through your Instagram. First of all, the exercises that you were putting your clients through were really dynamic and interesting, and it looked, for what I like, it was like fun, it wasn't just this boring, whatever boring is. But the other thing that I noticed is that all of your girls had bodies. Like they were lean, but they had like, muscle and beautiful ways, like butts for sure. Like you're known for that. I swear. It's like, damn, but that's a hot ass right there. So, there was just so much coming out of your Instagram that I was like, I gotta connect with this woman. I gotta try. And then after, I came to you a few times, and I loved you immediately. I loved what you put out. I loved the feeling that I received after every workout with you, and it's a bitch that I live so far away from you, because otherwise I'd be up in your face all the time. So that was my little intro rant. Hi. Let's dive in. A personal trainer seems like such a small way of putting what you do, but can you give our audience kind of a background, like a bit of your background, but also go through how you would formally title yourself professionally?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do consider myself I don't want to say just, I was just about to say it, but I do consider myself a private trainer. And I think it gets a bad like rap to it, because there are so many in quote private trainers that just like, I guess they just like to work out, so they consider themselves that. But I really take it to heart, and it's all I do. I don't do anything else. But I kind of started, I've played athletics, every sport basically, with a ball, my whole life. And I knew when I was graduating, I did not want to get stuck behind a desk somewhere. And to me, I would much prefer to do something that I love with people I love and want to be around every day than to sit behind a desk and make a bunch of money. Even if I get paid less, I want to love what I do every day. And I think there's also a lot of in quote trainers that don't really like it. They just do it as like a side thing. And I don't think they're valuing themselves or their clients' time. They're just kind of there collecting money, and it's not what I'm about. I've been training since 2001. That makes me sound really old.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. No, that sounds like pro to me.
But yeah, I started off a bit rocky at like a 24-hour fitness in Oakland.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually pretty terrible, like, because I just thought everyone was an athlete. Like everyone, no matter what they did, could just, let's do some plyometrics. It's our first session. Let's do this. And luckily, I never hurt anyone when I was younger. But yeah, I just kind of got better. I got more confidence. I learned from many people. I love learning. I love learning about training. I love seeing new styles. You even know I pull things from like jujitsu, which I don't even do.
Yeah.
But one thing I will pat myself on the back for is that I'm very good at seeing things and emulating them. Like and the same thing with athletics. Like if you show me something, I'll just watch a couple times and I can get it. It's the same thing with exercises. I'm like, oh, you know what? That I can tell is going to work this muscle and that muscle, and it's very functional because even just like a sit through is a lot of times how you get up,
right?
In life. So yes, it has to do with jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great exercise
getting
for
the base.
Yeah, for your core, but it's also just good for getting off the ground.
Absolutely.
So as you age, it's something that's just kind of naturally works in.
Yeah. So really quick to highlight what you kind of specialize in. So it's like a lot of functional training, plyometrics, high interval. Prenatal, right?
Yep, some mobility.
Yes. Totally.
And I'm very passionate, which is a new thing, it's not a new thing in that I have since college had injuries. I've had several surgeries, which has helped me in this because now I know the rehab for those injuries. I'm not a therapist. That is not what I'm saying, by the way.
Yeah.
But I am aware. And I'm aware of how people's faces look and what they do when something's bothering them. So if I see you just kind of rub your back a little bit, I'm going to walk over to you, even if it's a class, and say, what's up with your back? Is something hurting? I don't want it to hurt. Let's do this instead. Or we're going to, let's try this. Let's try angling your foot this way, see if the pain goes away. And then after that, we'll try to figure out why this is actually happening, and then strengthen and stretch things that need that.
Yeah.
I forgot the base question.
No, we're just kind of highlighting.
Oh, the ACL. That's what I was going to say. So
Yeah.
the different things that I do. But as of recent, so my daughter is super into competitive soccer. She's 11 now. And, I'm almost 6 feet. Her dad likes to say he's 6'3", but he's probably 6'2". But anyway, she's going to be a tall girl. And I had Osgood slaughters growing up, and my knees really hurt, and that has just started with her. And
What is that? Sorry.
Osgood slaughters, is where your quads are basically overdeveloped, and so it starts to create tension on the patella tendon into this kind of spot right here where people get a bump.
Yeah.
And so as it like flares up, this bump just kind of grows, and anything that touches it, it hurts so bad. And even now as a grown-up, if I bump this getting into my car, it will hurt for like 3 days. But hers, look, when you're a kid, all the running from soccer, it's just a lot of load on your quads, period. And ACL tears are highest in women's soccer. So that has become a new thing for me, is just trying to make sure her glutes are strong, make sure her hamstrings are strong, make sure her quads aren't so tight, and avoid things that, your quads work for everything, but, avoid quad-specific things. So that, because that wasn't a thing when I was a kid.
Right.
And the training, I used to do jump squats in college, box jumps in college with the bar on my back. Like, the training was horrendous. And I think that's one of the things too, is I've seen so much bad training and been a part of so much bad training that I'm like, no, like, this has to be done right. I'm a stickler for form.
Yes.
Even if I call, like, how girls like to stick their butts out when they do stuff, which looks great for photos and videos.
Right.
But it is terrible on your low back.
Yeah.
And it does really nothing for your glutes, because they're not firing at all, because your low back's picking up all the work.
Right.
So I try, even those girls that look so good and stuff, like, I tell them to, like, do their little ugly butt all the time, which means, like, tuck, like something you would never do in a photograph. Like,
I love that you're saying this, because I'm sure a lot of people don't, they see the gram and they're like, my butt doesn't look like that, but that is so posed, and it's not
so
true, because
posed.
I'm such I'm gnarly about, form as well, and you can, I feel very confident that I'm putting myself, when I'm training, when I'm lifting, like, that I'm in the correct position, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't look like that gram shit.
No, it doesn't. That's not how planks look.
Like, they're plank, like, exactly. That is so funny.
No. And I've literally seen, too, just for people that are, like, lost in Instagram, models at night, and they're like, oh my God, I don't look like that. I work so hard. I have trained several girls who just really know how to take a good photo. Like, they'll be in front of me, and all of a sudden it's like they go up on their toes and they pop their head and they turn a little bit, and they're like, take a photo. And I'll take a photo, and I'm like, oh my God, what did you just do?
It's so true.
You didn't even use an app yet. What are those apps
that you can
to
tune
make you?
shit.
Yeah. They didn't even use one of those yet, and they look different.
No,
like,
it's a whole thing. I saw one this morning. I was like, oh, I kind of just picked up on this particular girl where I'm like, she always makes sure that her legs kind of are, like, her feet are touching, but I know what she's doing to her butt, so that there's always kind of separation between the thigh gap. The thigh gap.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how you normally stand. Like, that's very much a pose.
I actually like my thighs close together. Like, I feel like if they weren't, they would be unathletic looking.
That's what.
Right?
Okay, wait, stop. So that's a beautiful. We're gonna jump all around. Ooh, I'm so excited right now, because you know what? When we first started training, I remember saying to you, I don't want to do heavy weights, like with the arms. I remember, because I was I'll get bigger. I don't know if you remember that, and don't worry, but
no, I do actually.
I turned a corner, shortly after that, probably a year later or something like that, because my brothers, I come from a family of athletes, and, one of my brothers is an incredible strength and conditioning coach. He's like a, exercise scientist is how I frame him, but, they would always tell me, listen, lift weights. Like, for the body that I always knew the aesthetic that was hiding underneath certain, because I went through injuries. So I had my ACL torn. meniscus torn twice. I was a competitive runner growing up. I remember before my injuries, I was young enough to know what my body type was, and I'm a mesomorph. So it's like I can build muscle, but there's, it's lean and it's feminine and it's beautiful. But after the injuries, I'm on the American diet. All kinds of things happened out of my control. I didn't have the knowledge by diet and training to be able to keep my body in that, lean state. So, which is, a blessing when I look back, because the discomfort and all the things that I had to learn along the way have now brought me to be the person that I am. And I'm now able to share a lot of, knowledge in this area. So anyways, I'll go in a rabbit hole quick. I have to be careful. But I remember being with you and I'm like, oh, I don't like to lift heavy weights. And I remember you saying something like, it was something about muscle, and you're like, no, you said something like, for later in life, you're going to love these muscles.
Yes.
So one thing that I love about you is that you're not trying to do this, like, don't lift 3 pounds because then you'll get fucking bulky, which I fell into that. I have chills right now. I fell into that trap and mentality because I was like, I'm going to get bulky. I'm already having muscle. No, girl, you had extra that you could get rid of, but underneath, like, now I'm like, I fucking love my body, because I can see the muscle, and I would never want to take that away from myself. I don't, and I just love that you highlight that, and you really, I feel like that's something that you really bring out of your clients. It's like the beautiful, athletic, how I frame it is, it's the aesthetic that says, I'm capable.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
Yes, it's so true. I have so many girls come in and they're like, I just don't want to get bulky. I don't want to get big. And I think it's just such a, I don't want to say a myth, but like, I'm like, what? Okay, let's start with a very bulky CrossFit athlete.
Sure.
That is their life. It's all they're doing. They eat specifically to grow and gain. They could or could not be taking things.
Sure.
I don't know. Because some girls can get bigger than other girls, right? Mm-hmm. But in a 45-hour session, a couple days a week with me, there's no way you're going to look like that. Like, that's not even what we're training for.
Right.
And if you're holding 20-pound, 30-pound dumbbells, that's not what they're doing. Just calm it down.
It's so true. And I say that, I understand what you were thinking, girls, because I had a similar, mindset. So, but you're so right. And now I'm proud to say, I feel like it's almost like a duty now to be like, hey, that's not what's going to happen. And understanding the science that goes into to actually grow muscle is so damn hard.
It's so hard.
Right.
It's so much easier to lose it when you just lay around doing nothing than it is to grow it.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I feel like the girls that come in that don't want to get bulky, they're not really giving those bulky or whatever word people want to use. I give those girls that have that much muscle props, because that takes a lot of effort and work to look like that. They're not getting that way just by doing some lunges and some bicep curls. That is not what's happening. They've put in years of effort for that. Right. So when people come in and girls are worried about getting bulky, it's just not going to happen. And if you put on, I'm sure even you've seen it where you're like, it's a picture of two girls and one is like, it'll say 136 pounds and then it'll say 145 pounds. But the 145 pound girl looks way better, athletic, leaner, happier than the girl that was less weight.
100%. I weigh more. There's been a time in my life where I weighed less, but you look at my body and I was softer. I didn't have the definition. I have a few more pounds on now than I did, and everything is just tighter and more. It's just more pronounced in ways that I want it to be pronounced. So it's an important message, and I love that you really represent that kind of that mindset, and also that's part of what you deliver through your particular style of training, like this beautiful, athletic, capable body. And all your girls, all your clients, period, and I know you train more than girls, they're having fun.
Yes.
And that's so huge.
Yes. I mean, let's keep it real here. I'm in here all day. I need it to be fun. Like, I cannot be like, and we're doing this again, and we're doing this again. Next person, let's do this again. I mean, I have a bit of undiagnosed ADD myself. So even in my classes when I'm like, all right, we're doing 4 sets of this, and people are going, I'm like, we're doing 3 sets because I'm bored. If I'm bored, you guys have to be bored. Let's move it along. Let's do the next thing here. Because I think even in regards to training, people get so lost in numbers, whether it's their weight or their waist measurement or how many are we doing. You know, it's a brand new person. I don't know how many we're doing. Let me see you do the exercise. Let me see if you do it well. Let me see if you're tired at number 4 or if at number 12. Like, I don't really care so much about the numbers of things as opposed to how are you looking? How are you feeling? Does this hurt? Should we go harder? You know, are you having a emotionally tough day today? We'll go a little lighter today. And that's why things like when people are like, oh, I need this programmed out for 6 weeks. I'm like, that's very hard because people's emotional levels change. Maybe they have some back pain. Like
hormones are a real thing.
Yes. Yeah. Sticking to an exact schedule of workout. That's why even like with my guides or with my clients, I give my emails, I give my my numbers, my phone number is what I'm trying to say, because on any given day, something's going to feel weird or different, or you're just like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this for an hour. Can I get a 15-minute workout? And yes, you can definitely get some stuff done in 15 minutes also. But with regards to the weight that I was talking about, I wanted to mention that a lot of girls sometimes will ask about like going over specific goals in the beginning and numbers and this and that, which is what, like, rewind to my 24-hour fitness days, we had to put in specific, let me measure your neck, let me measure your bicep, let me measure your shoulder girth. It's just so overwhelming that if you're not meeting your goals in a specific time, people get too frustrated and focused and lost on it. And it doesn't really matter. What matters is, do I feel stronger? Are my pants fitting the way I want them to fit? Whether that is they're too loose or they're too tight, you know, because I don't want my pants to be loose on me. No, girl. Because that means I'm losing some stuff.
I don't even have a word for the beauty that is your body, but it's ridiculous.
Like everyone is not the same mold and person, nor do we want to be. So I really feel like the numbers games with the weight or whatever is just very important to remember and acknowledge that, you know, just because you see this person and they weigh this much, who gives a shit? I'm sorry. Like,
so
just
true.
Stop looking at that, especially before you go to sleep.
Oh my God. I know, right? Seriously. It's a real thing that I think is important to express because, I mean, everyone's doing it in their own way almost, you know, whether it's in this subject or looking at it from a career perspective or whatever, Absolutely. Right? It's like, so one thing that I love that you said is, you know, focus on getting stronger. When people talk to me about training, and obviously I'm not a trainer, but just, you know, I'm an athlete by way of life. And so the conversation comes up a lot. And I always say the same or similar things where it's like, it's focusing on, can I be faster? Can I be stronger? Can I increase my endurance? And when you're looking at things from, can I be more flexible, more mobile? When you're looking at it from that angle, the byproduct will be, in a lot of ways, you know, the waist gets smaller, or maybe the butt gets bigger, or whatever.
Absolutely.
But even I feel the pleasure in the process, it becomes, there's so much more because you're not stuck, like you said, you're not harping on numbers,
right,
which can be so, first of all, delusional.
Yes.
And discouraging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, no.
Yeah, and when I know, at least myself, and I haven't actually worked out in like a month because I have a neck thing, and then I got this giant car. I don't even have my car right now. But so I've had to be very careful. But in that month, just from not working out, and my body really doesn't ever change I kind of stay right. I'm pretty good about staying where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I know since I haven't been working out, I've been eating way better. I've been stretching more to try to like, okay, I can't work out. Let me focus on this instead. So you just have to pick your moments. And like I said, sometimes that 6-week program doesn't work out. Like I haven't been able to work out. But that being said, because I'm not sore a lot, I don't feel as confident, strong. I don't feel strong. You know what I mean? So that that's why I always say, do you feel stronger? Because that strength is confidence, I feel like,
Absolutely.
And like you said, the small waist, the butt, whatever, the arm, it's a byproduct of you just feeling good about yourself.
Totally.
It just comes with it.
Yeah.
But if you're focused on it, like, can we do more abs so my stomach fat goes on? Oh, no! Oh, my gosh. We could do abs all day and you might lose fat on your boobs. Like, we cannot choose where this is coming off of.
No, I know. That's an important thing.
Absolutely.
Like the spot, what is it called?
Spot reduction.
Right.
Someone just asked me this yesterday.
Really?
I'm not lying. Like for our next package, can we do ab blasting stuff? And I was like, yeah, that's done in the kitchen, first of all. Like that's that's how your abs are gonna show. Your abs are under there.
Always. Like they really are for everyone. But
yeah, so I was like, anything we're doing is just gonna reduce body fat. But we can't outwork a bad diet. So if you're out eating whatever, brunching and 4 days a week,
drinking and then wanting to come and do
you can't outwork it.
Let me ask you this: so to go back a little bit, because you do have an athletic background, which I think it serves what you do now so greatly, right? What I know you said every sport with a ball, but were there any other? I love that. Were there any sports that you were super passionate about that maybe you wanted to, kind of that you were maybe thinking about becoming pro in or something? Like, I just want to know a little bit about that.
When I was little, I actually just thought that's what I was gonna be in multi-sports. Really? I actually thought I was gonna be the first female football player to kick the kicker. Because when I was little, I played soccer and I could kick a 40-yard field goal with a soccer ball. So I was like, dude, I'm doing this. And I'm this tall and big, like, I'm gonna do this. Clearly that didn't happen. But actually, I think that just did happen, like last year. Yeah, I think. Do not quote me.
I don't know.
I think there is a first girl kicker now. It might just be in college, amazing. But I don't know. Maybe it's pro. I don't know. Anyways, back to the point. So when I was 16, maybe 15, I had that Ajgul on my knees. Like, I was playing club soccer, club basketball, club volleyball, as well as my school sports, and my parents were like, we have to narrow this down. Like, this is too much running around. Your body's already, like, starting to slow down. So we got to figure it out. So I chose basketball. So my senior year of high school, I only played basketball, which was hard. I missed the other sports. But, yes. So when I got to college, I played at Santa Clara University. I thought, I'm just going overseas after this. So it doesn't really matter what I major in. Like, I just need to pick something simple so I can get through this and go play.
Yeah.
So end of sophomore year, the coaches said, you have to pick something. And I was like, ugh. So I picked, since it was Santa Clara, mostly business law school, even though I love science, I was like, I can't do combined sciences with basketball. Like, it's just too much. The chemistry and physics, like, I can't with that. So I was like, I'll just do psychology. So I chose psychology. That's what I majored in.
Wow.
And then by the end of it, I had done my thesis with, like, schizophrenics, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, never mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna go overseas anyways. But throughout college, I had 3 shoulder surgeries.
From basketball?
From basketball.
Oh, wow.
Initially, I got dislocated from chugging a cutter, which means, like, trying to get them out of the lane. And then it just kept having problems after that. And then I had foot surgery. I had a couple concussions. Those girls are big, by the way. Like,
and you were so tall.
I'm big. I am not big. Those girls are big. So, like, a 200-pound girl running at you full speed, and you have to try to not let them in the key.
Wow.
It's a lot on your body.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
But I love it. I mean, I'm very aggressive.
Yeah.
I would see them coming and be like, you're not getting in here. But that being said, I just had so many I graduated with a boot on my I had already had a cast on my foot. I was in a boot. And then at that point, my coaches said, well, if you're going to go overseas, you have to play point guard. I do not want to dribble the ball around with a bunch of little people chasing me. Like, I can't do that. I have 2-3 dribbles max. So I was like, I can't. How am I going to play point guard when I've never ever played point guard? So that kind of just killed that dream. And then I was in a boot, so I was done with my coaches because I graduated. So I would have had to hire a private coach. I was
so
like,
that was a wrap.
I'm done, yeah. And then a year later, I had back surgery from...
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And that was from college, yeah, because I was already in rehab like the last 2 years of college for my back.
So okay. What was your body image like? Like, how did your there was a lot going on with you and your body in that period. Because I know just from coming off of like 3 knee injury or surgeries, like there's a lot that happened psychologically, emotionally, physically, obviously. What was happening with you in that moment, in those moments, you know? Were you feeling good about, like, what was your self-image like?
Well, let me tell you why it was, but it wasn't really from injuries, because I was still, like, even in a cast, hopping around the gym on one leg doing things, which helps and doesn't help me, because now when people are like, oh, I sprained my ankle, I can't come work out for 6 weeks, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there is so much we can do besides your ankle stuff, you know, like, what? So those things to me are mind-boggling, and especially since I've already been through it, so I already know there's a bunch we can do. But that being said, in college, I don't know how they do it now, but they used to, my biggest thing was they would do the body fat testing, and they would list everyone's body fat on the same page and give the flyers or dittos or whatever the word is now for them. If they even do that, they probably just zip it out in some app.
Totally.
but so everyone's body fat and weight and everything would be on those, which I did have a little more meat on me then, but like they had different levels. I think they had like athletic, healthy, blah, I don't know what they were, but one of them was plump.
Whoa.
And I was in the plump group.
No!
On the sheet with only 2 other girls. And I was like, so we like nicknamed ourselves the Plumpies because we were trying to make fun of it so that we wouldn't like be offended by it. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, so I did have some eating stuff happen in college where I was like, I'm not eating this. I need to lose weight. You know, and as a college girl, not even as an athlete, but just as a college girl in general, that's a lot on you to be thinking about. Like,
absolutely,
I have to lose weight, you know, and I have 2 to 3 practices a day, like.
And you're so athletic,
yeah, and
which is gnarly.
You're so hungry, and I'm so athletic. Like, how am I plump? Right. Like, what are we talking about? So that was my thing of when I didn't feel good. It didn't really have to do with my injuries. It had to do with the coach's strategies on that. I don't know what they were thinking.
The viewpoints,
So that was the only problem, but not around my injuries. Around my injuries, I looked at myself as kind of like, honestly, so I'm gonna go do this instead. You know, I can still do this. I can still catch with one arm and pass. You know, I can still shoot because it's my left shoulder. It's not my right shoulder. So I can stand on the free throw line and go shoot 100 free throws with one arm a day. You know.
Wait, do you have siblings?
I have 3 older brothers.
Okay, because do you see the connection? I have 3 younger brothers who feel like older brothers because we're so close in age and they're like you badass athletes.
Yes.
But yeah, like, because I feel such a connection to that mentality, you know, of like, I'm fucking do, you know, and I feel like for me personally, so much of that is an influence of just having my 3 brothers and growing up with them and like, you know, being like one of the boys but still very much a girl. Was that similar
Absolutely.
for you?
I still consider myself a tomboy. Like, I mean, I would much prefer my sports bra over a lacy one, but like, and tennis shoes over heels. Heels kill my feet also. I don't know how girls wear them all day.
Well, you're so tall that you're like,
I don't really need them. But even if I have to wear them for a couple hours, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, when can I take these off?
They're not good for you.
They're not good for you.
I love a good heel, but they're not good for you.
They're not. But yeah, I still consider myself, but just because I love playing, I love being active. And like I said, anything when there's a ball involved, you know what I mean? Even if that's why one of my favorite classes that I teach is a class called Recess, and it's literally all speed and agility drills that are fun though, like catching tennis ball, running after tennis balls, you know, popping up, running, catching a tennis ball, ladder drills, plyometrics, like these are all things that I love. But you tell me to run around the block like 2 times, no, I don't want to do that. But if I feel like I'm playing, I'm in, you know. But that being said, I don't like to do things where there's defense very much anymore because I've just had so many injuries.
Right, that makes sense.
I don't want my nose to get broken again.
No, you don't.
I'm too old
Keep your
for this.
cute nose. No, well, you have to pick and choose. And there's no reason. I mean, I think you've done an amazing job of taking, aspects of sport that you love, and you've made it a business and a successful business. Your gym, it's your newer gym, so the Body, which is where we are right now, is incredible visually. The setup here, the things that your classes that you have going on, which are all visible on Instagram. But I love that idea of making it playful. It's so similar in my family, with my brother too. It's very much the same, where it's like, it's not even just for your clients, it's for you too.
Absolutely. Like, you guys need to keep me interested in this.
Yes.
And I literally will say sometimes, because we always start with a dynamic warm-up, and which is probably the only thing that is very repetitive in here, because I'm like, we have to do a dynamic warm-up, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I might change it to we're moving back and forth to in place, but we're still doing dynamic stuff. But like, when there's some people in and people are feeling lazy, or there's some new people and we're doing like track skips, and there's just people skipping, like Phoebe from Friends, remember how she would like skip? I don't know if you know.
Remember.
Anyways, I literally will yell, people, let's try to look athletic. Like, what are we doing if we're not even trying to do that? Like, come on, did you just see the demonstration?
That is so funny.
And I love the girls I make get better at stuff when they're like, oh, I hate the tennis balls drills. And I'm like, well, we're going to do it, and you're going to get better. And I'm going to tell you how to catch a ball better. And then you just see their confidence like rise just from catching a tennis ball. It's not even
Which
just,
is not easy to do.
It's not for some people.
I mean, it depends on what you're throwing. Like, I just think of like Rose Namajunas, the UFC fighter, who's like punching the tennis ball.
Oh, that's hard. We have some of those in here. Oh my God. I cannot
No, like her man will throw tennis balls at her.
I thought you meant that thing that hangs in front of your head.
Literally like throwing the tennis balls.
Just
she's
a
like,
punch
boom, boom. Yeah, it's
oh my
badass.
God, I want to try that.
Seriously, it's gnarly. I mean, I haven't tried it, but that kind of stuff is gnarly. But I imagine that when you get it and you're actually like making it happen, that's got to feel so good. Like you just said for your
it feels good, especially for someone that was not an athletic as a child.
Yes.
And they feel like some sort of pressure about like, oh no, I don't, because I don't want to be embarrassed. And I'm like, this is a class. Like, no one's getting cut from a team. Like, nobody cares if you don't catch the ball. Like, I'm just gonna help you do it better so it's fun, so you can enjoy this exercise, because it's a fun exercise. And not to mention, the whole time you're kind of sprinting, so by the time you're done, you're like, you just got some amazing cardio.
Without realizing that, because your focus isn't on it. I think one of the, where was I just going to go? There's so many angles I want to hit you with. But, a lot of people I find, for them, they need to find something that they feel very like they're having fun with, because we'll focus on women for this. A lot of women actually, first of all, don't feel comfortable in the weight room for many reasons. One of the great reasons is like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
And then one of the great reasons is I'm surrounded by men and I don't know what to do on top of it. I don't know what I look like, and I got to get out of here and figure, So I feel like there's a lot of just discomfort for women to, be in the weight room, and really often like be in the gym. So the easy thing to do is like, I'm going to go do the elliptical machine.
Right.
I'm going to go do the running, which I know and we'll just say it, that's doing so much cardio can actually be, it's like the worst thing for you. In terms of, if you really want to create, your body to be, have a healthy metabolism and, longevity and health, and like keep you lean without you having to work so hard all the time, resistance training is important. A lot of the stuff that you do, which is the functional training, plyometrics, is so important. But I feel like a lot of women have a hard time unless they, connect with someone like yourself and come into classes like this, where it's like they don't even realize that they're getting this dynamic training and they're hitting their muscles and doing all these things because of the way that you create these classes.
Yeah.
So
sorry, did you want to say more?
No.
Okay. I agree. Like, even myself, if I go into, and I've been exercising and training and playing, whatever, my whole life. But like in gym since I was 21 without a coach, you know, and even going into any new gym myself, I feel uncomfortable. So someone that has never done it before, I could see would be very uncomfortable. So there's a couple ways, like I would say to do that for new people. Find a friend if you can, because that helps a lot. If you haven't found a friend, you can do like an at-home program, and that way you'll already know some exercises going into the gym. So you're like, okay, I know at home I needed a step or a bench, and I needed a pair of 5-pound dumbbells and 10-pound dumbbells. So that's all you need when you go to the gym. I need to find a little spot where I've got my bench, and I'll get my 2 weights, and I'm going to go through the circuits that I did in the guide. I'm just now out in public. And then you'll start to meet people at the gym because they know you're in that spot. Someone might ask, are you still using the weights? So you'll start to like get comfortable with people, and then you'll slowly be able to move spots. Mm-hmm. But I find myself, if I go into a new gym and it's just like once or something, even though I know everything to do, I feel more uncomfortable with like, I don't even know what I feel uncomfortable with, to be honest. Like, I don't, because
I'm surprised because you're
yeah,
like,
it's not, but I get very shy and when I'm in new places without knowing anybody. I think I just get shy. I think I just like think people are going to talk about me, or I don't know what, like I'm that important that people are talking about me. But a lot of times I'll go in the aerobics room. Like I'll find the aerobics room, and then I'll just do a bunch of body weight functional stuff in the aerobics room without any, then I don't have to worry about anything. Headphones are good because then you don't have to worry about that. Right. But one thing that you said about like looking weird or whatever, it's one reason, I don't know if you noticed in the gym, I don't have any mirrors in the gym.
Wow.
Except the bathroom.
That's gnarly.
And I did it on purpose because I notice when there's mirrors, so for example, say I have a pair of tights on and I have some like faulty areas that I'm like, okay, I think this looks good, but I don't know. And then you go in different light and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know, like this looks bad. The whole workout, all you're thinking about is that spot that's looking bad, and you're not focused on making yourself better. You know, you're focused on dumb shit.
Right.
Like a piece of cellulite or like a piece of armpit fat that's hanging out of your sports bra. You're not thinking, or like your makeup running, which mine is constantly running, and I swear to God, when I go into the bathroom at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, like nobody told me the shit was down the side of my eyeball. But like you get so distracted with unimportant things that you don't get the workout that you came in to get. So I didn't put mirrors in here on purpose. And I think it helps so much because everyone's just either looking at me or they're focused on what they're doing. And all that random distraction just goes out the window.
That's amazing.
And there's no selfies all the time in the mirror because
Right.
you're like, dude, put your fucking phone down and work out. Like,
I know. It's
you
so
can post,
gnarly.
please post, but do it
Yeah.
like after you're done. But yeah, that's why I don't have mirrors in here because it just makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it can, totally.
Because how many times have you, I mean, I don't know about you because your body's perfect also, but like you'll be doing something in a mirror, like a tricep extension, and then you see your arm and you're like, all of a sudden you put the weight down before you're even done, and then you're like, what is this? Like, how long has this been here? I need to eat better. Like, you just get so sidetracked.
I mean, it could be, for me, there's days that are, you could be, you know, you're holding more water because the hormones are a real thing for women. And I think because I understand, you know, what's happening, you know, from a physiological perspective now, that, you know, I'm more forgiving of those moments. Understanding, like, there are going to be times where you're carrying, like, 3 pounds of water.
Yeah.
And your abs are not going to be as, like,
Yeah.
you know, badasses when you're not. So I could be more forgiving, but you know, when I didn't know what was going on, and I was just, it could be rough sometimes in the mirror. But then at the same time, I will say that but this is just my personal thing. There are times where I fucking love the mirror because, but here's the difference. It's just me.
That's true.
And when I'm looking at myself, there's a whole dialogue and like, you know, come on, Rox, like you fucking got like lit, and I get super serious with myself, but in a beautiful way, you know?
No, I totally understand what you're saying. So like, I like that for my classes and my privates because I'm watching them. They don't need to. But that being said, at the end of the day, when I'm done, it's time for me to work out. I go home to my apartment gym because there's a mirror. Because I'm like, first of all, I'm by myself in here.
That's, I think, the big thing.
And I'm like, oh my God, but just by myself. I've heard this music all day.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But then I'll go home, and the mirror does help me when I'm by myself. But if I were to work out here with you, I would be fine. Because I would be drawing off of you as well. But when you're by yourself, agreed.
I think when you're by yourself, but I think it's super smart when you're in a class too. And then, you're good at that too. You're good at really keeping everyone engaged in what they're doing. And by the way, that's also really important for preventing injury. Which
Absolutely.
I think that's another thing that I love about you is that you don't just put, your clients through the motions. You, like you said it earlier, if there's a touch on the back, you're like, what's going on with the back? Like you really delved into that. And I think at a time where, and again, I think social media makes this, it's a lot of why there's like so many personal trainers. And so there is a difference of people like yourself, which is why I'm so happy to have you on this podcast, because you really stand out. You are in the elite game, and there is a difference. Just because you can put someone through a workout doesn't mean that you're actually, no offense, but like it doesn't mean that you're, I'll put it like this. I'm a makeup artist. You can put makeup on someone's face. That doesn't make you a makeup artist.
Right.
Because sometimes I just need fucking chapstick. And I will create a look with the chapstick that works with the image and the whole setting, but there's artistry in that. So it's like you're a fucking artist.
Yeah,
and there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Yeah,
yeah. I look at it that way, and that's actually one of the reasons I started the group classes. Also, is because I've never been a group trainer. I've always been a private trainer. But I started the group classes because I was trying to get my girls in for more workouts so they could get in shape faster, but they couldn't afford the private training. So I was like, I'm going to start some group classes, and then they can do those for their extra workouts. And it just kind of grew. But that being said, when I've gone to other places to take classes, I will name the places unnamed. It drives me fucking nuts when I go in and there's a board with the examples, and then in the class, like a TV screen with the pictures, in the class, I'm like, where the fuck did the trainer go? Because that person's doing this wrong, that person's doing this wrong. Like, what are we actually all in here doing right now? And, or they're just they're like, all right, here's the 10 circuits, everybody go, and, they're dancing around in like some little ass shorts or something. It's just, they're like, I'm not here to like I am here to like keep it fun and throw out some sarcastic jokes because that's my personality and whatever, but I'm not here to entertain everybody. I'm here to give you a good experience and a good workout. And I think that's why I'm slowly taking my time to grow this gym also, because I don't want I don't want to hire group instructors. I want to hire trainers that like believe in getting people the best safe and effective workout, not just to pay someone to fill a room of people and I can't make myself do that. So I'd rather take my time and hire the right people, and if I don't find the right people, then I'll keep doing the classes. But like,
that's right.
It's something that does drive me nuts when I go places is the trainers, in quotes. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, do you see this girl? Help her.
Yeah. It's integrity. You have a lot of it.
Yeah, and I stay very true to it all across the board. Like, even with Instagram posts, like, I'm not doing a bunch of sexy shit. First of all, I would just feel stupid doing that.
Your Instagram has been one of the greatest tools that I've been able to offer so many women.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah, girl, because the things that you put out are helpful.
Oh, good.
Yeah, especially like, for women who maybe, again, like they're rolling to the gym by themselves and they don't know what to do, and you make it so clear and easy, and I don't know, I love your Instagram. There's so many creative ideas that are not difficult. It's not complicated. Yeah. It's not flashy shit that you're trying to do for the Instagram. It's literally
like the 1,000 push-ups, like the clapping and the reaching. When I watch it, I'm like, what is happening right now? At least put a funny joke if you're gonna do that. Like, to show us your skills, I can appreciate that, but like, make a joke about it at least.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I try to keep it as simple as I can, and I also like I always try to put like regressions if there is something difficult, because I don't want people to get hurt, and they see this stuff on there. I've literally had clients say to me like, oh, I saw this girl doing they put the BOSUs on the boxes and then they jumped from BOSU to BOSU, but the BOSUs are upside down and they were just jumping back and forth on it. And I was like, why? Also, why aren't the BOSUs just on the ground? It would still be why? But why are the BOSUs on the boxes when you're just jumping from the BOSU to the BOSU? Like, it's literally just a circus
act.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? Are you asking me to have you do this?
That's horrible.
Because I'm not.
That's dangerous.
It's stupid, right?
That's so gnarly.
But yeah, people see all this stuff and then they see a hot girl doing it.
Right.
For which, by the way, I will also add, I have trained several hot girls and most of them are not in shape. Like, they barely make it through the warm-up. They just look good.
Right.
Like, maybe they're 23, maybe they get some work done, maybe both. But, like, props to them. They look great, but it's usually not from the shit they're doing on there, you know? They just, they look good. They just look good.
Yeah, whatever. Like, everybody's body's different.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's not from jumping on BOSU's upside down.
So there's a few things, because I need to be mindful of your time. You're a mommy, and I know that one thing that you specialize in is prenatal, right?
Yes.
Which, like we talked about this earlier, when the time comes for me to have baby, in the back of my mind, I'm like, thank God I got Jen in my fucking corner. I know it, because I will be coming to you. That's a love for you, right? Is that something that developed because you became a mom and then you had to, work through your own pregnancy training, or how did it?
I think it's almost like, this might sound bad, but almost like my injuries. Like, as I experienced it and learned, like, oh, I can still do it. Like, I'm not saying you should do this, by the way. I'm not saying you should do this, but I was still playing basketball at the gym till I was like 5 months. And then at that point I was like, I should probably stop playing like 5-on-5 basketball. Like, I should probably stop. But that being said, I still worked out the entire pregnancy. The day I was supposed to go in for my induction, because I was 2 weeks late, I was supposed to go to the UCLA track and do the stairs. Like, I worked out the whole time. Now, that I wasn't like doing the stairs, but I was going to do them. I was going to walk up them. But yeah, and then my labor started. So I realized, like, oh, you can do everything when you're pregnant. I mean, there's obviously you can't lay on your stomach. There's things that you have to modify, but you can do intense workouts, There's a lot of people that are like, I have to get a heart rate monitor. And you're like, you have to listen to yourself, because your heart rate monitor is going to say some things. But like me, for example, I have a very high, I always have resting heart rate. Mm-hmm. So it looks like I'm just killing it all the time. And I'm like, I'm really not that tired. Like, it's just high. I don't know why. I don't have high blood pressure. It's just my resting heart rate is high. Yeah. So I think because I've gone through it, and then after I was back on a treadmill walking again, I believe it was 6 days after I gave birth. I was just like, I'm going back to the gym. Right. And I walked. I felt like I had a fucking echo in my vagina.
That is the best description I can imagine. That is hilarious. I'm
going now. And I actually was gonna start. I did a little thing for it, like, called Baby on Boy. It just fizzled away, but it was basically like how you can work out with a baby, or with a baby in a stroller, or with a baby in their walker. And I just got very overwhelmed, because it's overwhelming having a new kid. You think like you're still Superwoman, and you're like, dude, I'm fucking tired.
Right.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where it started, and I got confident, because prior to that, I wasn't as confident training. I was very careful. Like, okay, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, which is how a lot of women are when they just get pregnant. They're like, I guess I got to just do prenatal yoga. Yeah. And you're like, no, you're still a person. Like, you can work out. You're fine.
One of my, our mutual friend, Carrie Walsh Jennings, one of my best friends, she's put it, I've literally done some training with her before she had her Girl Scout. We were doing like one of her Pilates beach workouts with her girl Carrie, which is so dope. And she was like, it was like, I can't remember exactly, but she was weeks, like, I'm talking like the same month she was about to have her baby. Like, it was going to happen soon. Kicking ass, just so strong and so graceful. And, how it's embedded in my mind from her, how she kind of framed it is like, you're having a baby, it's not like become soft. Like, it's almost like you got to prepare to go to war.
Absolutely.
Like, get your body ready.
Like, let's get this shit together.
Right, exactly. And I love that because, and listen, I mean, obviously, you know more than me even because I am not a mommy yet, but there are some pregnancies that will have issues that, you know, can cause women to really like, fuck, I can't even stand up because I'm dizzy and I'm throwing up. And, you know, and that could be, I'm, you know, I feel bad for women who go through that because that's got to be so hard.
Yes.
But let me ask you this. For new mothers who are exhausted and who are, you know, wanting, like, ready to kind of get themselves back into shape, what would you, like, do you have any advice on the best way? Like, I don't have time. I'm tired. I got this new baby. What would be, like, the greatest piece of advice? Is it like go do what would you guide them to do?
Well, I think every situation depends. It depends on every situation, right? Everybody's different. But I mean, I would say what I did try to do when I was tired at first was just get out of the house with the baby. So go on a walk. So I'd go to a Starbucks, actually. I just walk. It was probably 2.5 miles. So I just walk to a Starbucks. That way the baby gets out too. By the time you get back from the walk, usually, first of all, the kid's asleep because they've been in a stroller. And then that might give you 15 minutes. You'll have a little bit more energy because you just walked. So your endorphins are up. And then you can maybe try to get 15 minutes in. And even if it's like 15 minutes of circuiting, I don't know, 10 push-ups on the counter. Like, because if you haven't been doing anything, you don't have to do them on the floor. 10 push-ups on the counter. Maybe 10 times of sitting on the couch and standing up if you're really like just fresh out. Because a lot of people are like, don't squat right after, which is fine. I do agree with that, like with weight. But that being said, think of how much you sit down and you get up. Wow, that's a squat. Like,
totally,
you're squatting.
Yeah.
So you can always do 10, like, sit down, stand up. You could maybe do, I mean, I'm trying to just think of simple things that everyone could do. 30-second plank. And then maybe some dips off the side of the couch for, just do 4 things.
Yeah.
And just circuit it for like 15 minutes. And then you've got something.
Right.
You feel a little better. Maybe you're a little sore the next day. And then from there you can like progress the exercises. But yeah, there's always time to get a little something done. And if you, even if you only have 10 minutes, use the 10 minutes. Like, you'll feel better about yourself. You'll be a little bit more productive. It'll give you a blast of energy.
Yeah, I love saying that. I always kind of, how I frame it is pennies add up.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people, and I'm sure you could speak to this more than I, but, a lot of people feel like they have to go all in and do the whole thing or else it doesn't even matter. But it's like, no, I try and tell them, like, look at the big picture of your life, It's all about consistency is the magic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you think has been for you in your experience all these years in witnessing your clients, what's been the biggest game changer in the ones that kind of come in and then have the greatest transformations?
Consistent, like showing up 3-4 days a week. If it's not, I mean, just that's a great question. I mean, I only get to see them for the hour that day. So what they're doing outside, maybe they're eating perfect, but the consistency showing up and working hard and not being late and not talking to their partner for the whole hour. Because I have some people like that. They just come in and they just are talking. So I feel like I'm interrupting them. I'm like,
they're such
hey guys, we should start. Let's do the next set. Like sometimes they don't even hear. I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't. I should be training someone that wants to do something right now.
You're so cute.
But yeah, I think it's just the consistency and not lying to yourself about stuff. I think that's big because, someone could tell me they had chicken and fish and I don't know, couscous for dinner or something. They failed to mention that it was fried chicken and fried fish and like balls of couscous or couscous, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't lie to yourself.
Right.
Don't say you went and hiked yesterday, but really you like slowly went up Runyon taking photos and petting dogs. Like, what did you do? I think that's the biggest thing is just don't don't lie to yourself. And then get frustrated. Like, well, I've been coming here, you know, and you're like, oh, I don't know what else you're doing. You know, like I can't control all the hours of everything. I can only control what you're doing here. Yeah. So maybe that's it. Just like staying consistent and not lying to yourself.
Keeping it real with yourself.
Keep it real, yeah.
I love that. Okay, so here's my thought right now. Because I know you have to jam.
I have a few, if it's...
Cool, you have a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, because I know... I'm just so excited about what you're going to continue to create, because I know in the past you've created you've created programs, and I know that you're working on a few things right now that are really exciting. And what I would like to do is have another podcast with you.
Yes.
Once those things get off the ground and dig deeper into what those things are, and then just, I guess dig deeper into what you do and exercise, period. I mean, even the difference between the mindset difference between training versus I'm going to work out. Like for me, I'm never like, I'm going to work out. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I'm training.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a little bit? Like the difference?
Yeah, I think it's on our website actually. Like you're not just coming to work out, you're coming to train. Like we're training everyone. I would even say like for life. You know, like one thing I always think about is when I'm doing stuff. So my daughter's 11. She's probably 5'2" or something like that.
She's beautiful and badass.
And badass. But like one thing I love is that I can still have her run at me and I can scoop her up and I can hold her like a toddler on my hip and tell someone, okay, let's do this now. Da, 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 da. You know, because she comes with me every morning to the gym and then she goes to school. So she does her homework here. She does a little of her glute stuff for her knees and then she goes to school. But like, I love that, I've had back stuff from whatever and my neck stuff, all from the sports. But I try to keep everything together so I can continue in life to hold her, to play with her, to like run after her at a park, to play soccer with her. Because that's what, I think the later in life you get, your training becomes for something different, Right. And right now my training is to be able to keep up with her and play with her as long as I can, give her piggyback rides till she can give me piggyback rides,
That's dope. Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, what do you train for? What do you train for? Because I don't know, for whatever reason it gives off, like, are you competing for something or you're training? And I'm always like, no, I just life. Life is my sport.
Yeah.
Literally. And because there's so much that we can take from sport, from being active, from the physicality, and apply it towards life. It's all applicable, right? Like when you're, in times in life you need to be strong. At times you need to like sit and just know how to breathe. Yoga is so great for that. There's times where you need to like ride the waves. Surfing is so great for that. Jiu-jitsu is great for that. So I feel like it's so connected, and it becomes I feel like it becomes even more connected in the later years of life, where you're not necessarily in high school or college doing it for an actual sport, but you're just like, no, I just want to perform my best. I mean, that's what Black Belt Beauty is like.
Yeah.
To perform at your highest level. And it's not just from a physical sense. It's from every kind of sense, the mentality. And I think that and again, this goes back to the beauty, I think, in your training is that all these things that you have your clients doing, you can't leave as your client. I'll just speak as someone who has been your client and been trained by you. You leave more confident. You leave more capable. You feel stronger. You feel like, because we're working. You put us to work.
Yes.
It's like, all right. Like, I'm thinking about the ones who are talking and like, what a waste. Because I just want to come in here and like snatch everything I can from you, like to just get the most out of it. Because when I leave you, I feel like, fuck yeah. Okay. What else can I go do now? Because I feel like I can do anything. So yeah, I love going back to you and just, where you are in your life with, your beautiful daughter who's a badass athlete already. Yes. Like, I can't wait to see what's coming from her.
I know.
She's already, it's so exciting. And just the fact that I think it's so, I'll highlight this, but, it's to be a mom, I feel like you're an athlete right there. I'm not even a mom yet, but some of my very best friends are, and they're amazing mothers. my mom, mother of 5 kids, cesarean, entrepreneur, you're an athlete. But then when you know, a lot of times I think it's easy, from what I've seen, you know, it's so much of a sport that it becomes very easy to lose the other aspects that are important to maintaining yourself. You know, your health and your, you know, so training and eating right and and the fact that you have been consistent, yes, it's your work, but it's not just your work. It's your passion. Yeah. And that's like so obvious. And I know that was captured in this, you know, this conversation with you. But that's really something to be, you know, like it's awesome to witness, and it's inspiring because that's not easy to do. You know, I mean, I'm not a mom yet, but I just know I love my sleep.
I know. Oh, yeah. That goes fast. Yeah, you're done sleeping.
And that's gnarly because sleep is so important.
Yeah. Well, I think I do balance that out because I go to bed, like we go to soccer 6 to 8. We come home, shower. We usually eat actually before soccer. We'll have a little snack after. Yeah. And then we go to bed.
So you're
it's like 8:30, 8:45.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm an early bed.
London is so funny. When she has people over to sleep over, or she's at someone else's house, she's tired early, and she tries to talk them into going to sleep early because it's healthy. She's like, guys, we should really get a good night's sleep. And she's always the first to sleep at a sleep. Like, she's almost the worst. Like, her friends have come into my room before, and they're like, it's like 7:30, and they're like, London's asleep. What do you want to do? I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a sleepover with a 10-year-old. But yeah, she's out. She doesn't care. But we wake up early, and I love that, you know, she knows that I'm working hard. We're up in the morning. Let's go. Let's get up. Let's take the dogs out. Let's go to work, you know, and she sees it every morning. And I think that'll just be instilled in her. But yeah, that's the main goal, is so I can play with her. And then my dad plays pickleball. And he's 70 this year. He just won some bronze medal from over 7-year-old. It's so cute. But like when I go to the Bay, I play with him, you know? And it's so important to me that I can do those things, because that's something that, you know, I grew up with my dad too. And he just always played everything with me anytime I asked. And that's how I strive to be with London. I don't want to have to be like, oh, my back hurts and my neck hurts, you know? I just want to be like, okay, I need to strengthen, I need to stretch, I need to move better, so that when she's like, can we go play basketball at the park, I'm like, let's do it. You know? That's what's most important.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, so maybe for the next one, I'll try and get some questions from our audience that pertain to training, and, you know, we can kind of approach it from there. But thank you so much.
Of course, this was so fun.
I know, it's so cool. I mean, and I'm saying this out loud that I have every intention to come. I crave you. Even if I could just get like once a month, but it's just, damn, we live so far away.
I know. I could make it a point. I could come and try and do that beach thing with you guys too. That would be fun.
Oh my God, I would love that.
I might complain about the sand a lot, but that's okay. Really? That would be funny. It gets everywhere, no? Like, you wake up, you're so used to it.
Well, here's the thing. I'll say this, because, you know, throughout the week, I probably like three times, sometimes a little bit more, but I'm mindful about too much excessive cardio. But I do 10Ks in the sand, in the soft sand, barefoot in my bikini. And I know this is a separate workout, but it goes back to the sand. There is something about nature. I always frame like nature is truth. Yeah. It's pure. It's real. And to connect with nature in some way, shape, or form, whether it's I'm surfing or touching my feet in the sand or body in the sand or whatever, it's so grounding. It's so important. And I like, fuck it. If I'm going to be sandy, if I'm going to be salty, if I'm going to be dirty, because you leave, aside from the whatever, you know, form of, you know, workout it was or training it was, whatever, just to have that connection with nature is so important, you know? And it's so nice too to switch it up, because, you know, I train jiu-jitsu. I have a whole lifting resistance training program. There's a lot of indoor stuff is what I'm saying. So to be outside and get the vitamin D from the sun, and then have, you know, the connection with nature, it's like, whatever.
See, that's what, I just need to look at it that way.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go play in the sand.
Exactly. Okay, we have some plans. All right, so I got to get you out of here to go get your beautiful girl. But thank you again. And can you tell our listeners where to find you. I'm so excited for them to tap into your Instagram.
Okay, so I have my private training Instagram is at Body by Jenn with 2 N's, LA, so at Body by Jenn LA. And the gym I own is called The Body Los Angeles. And you can go to the website, which is thebodylosangeles.com, and that is also the Instagram for the gym is at The Body Los Angeles. So yeah, either one of those is good. And DM me with questions or whatever about fitness.
Totally.
And yeah, this has been really fun.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll have all that in the show notes too. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your time. It's always appreciated. Jenn, love you.
Love you.
Can't wait for you to kick my ass again. Love that I said that on air. All right, you guys, peace out. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for taking the time to check out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please share it with your friends. Head over to iTunes, subscribe to this podcast, rate it, leave me an honest review. Let's connect. I'm so excited to do that in this space and really create content that elevates your mind in support of your best performance in life. You can find me on Instagram at Black Belt Beauty. I'm active there every single day, and I look forward to connecting with you all. So thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.